Hey friends, Randy Flickinger here again with a story I've tried to cut at least 3 or 4 times. I had trouble with my phone, but I got it working. So, I wanted to tell you this. You ever mess up big time? I mean, fail, sin, to where you think, oh my gosh, my family, my spouse, my God, my coworkers, my neighborhood, whatever the case may be, my peer group at school will never understand. They'll just look at me and say, what are you doing? Maybe it was just a dumb decision. Maybe it was a really, really, really bad choice. Maybe you disobeyed what God tells us we should do. In fact, we all do that, so I guess we're in the same boat there. But did you fail God or disappoint Him? No, because He already knew what you were going to do. He wants you to choose correctly, yes, but that's not the case. But sometimes we feel so ashamed, we don't even want to pray. He's not going to listen to me. I'm a sinner. I don't want to go to church. These people are all way better than I am. No, they're not. They're not. They're sinners just like you. They just understand what God is about. And Jesus died for that reason. And sometimes we don't even want to be around others. I've got a family that made a pretty big mistake within their relationship. They don't want to be around us. They don't want to be around anybody. Those things happen. But that's not what God would want. You remember when Peter denied Christ 3 times? And Jesus had told him. Maybe you can relate to Peter, right? Jesus said, look, this story is in Luke 22:54 through 62. And Jesus says, look, you're going to do this. You're going to deny knowing me 3 times. Remember that. He knew in advance. Do you hear that? And Peter says, no, I would never do that. Right? Well, guess what happened? 3 straight times they had Jesus. They said, this guy was with them. No, I don't even know him. I'm paraphrasing, but you get the idea. 3 different times. He says, I don't know who he is. And remember, this is the head of the disciples. And after that 3rd time, he hears the rooster crow, and his heart drops. And he knows that what Jesus told him was going to happen was exactly what he did. He had failed miserably. But Jesus already knew it. So how did Jesus handle it? Because here's where the big part comes in that you got to understand. After the resurrection, in John 21:13 through 17, Jesus asks Peter, because Peter actually shows up. He knows, God, I got to be on this list. I am in trouble. I probably lost my salvation. I for sure lost all my friends. And Jesus says, do you love me? And Peter says, yes. And the first time, and God says, feed my lambs. The second time, do you love me? This time, Peter's a little more frustrated. Yeah, I guess I got it coming. Yeah, I do. And Jesus says, take care of my sheep. And then he asks him a 3rd time, do you love me? And Jesus tells him, feed my sheep. After Peter's like, I love you. I love it. Isn't that human nature? I messed up, but now I'm getting grumpy with you for asking me the question. No. But Jesus knew, and he still loved him. He forgave him. He told him, I'm going to build my church on you, the rock. And yet he failed miserably. I don't know what you've done. I don't know who you failed. But I do know this. The God that we serve knew that was going to happen. Didn't want it to happen. Wanted you to make good choices. And wants you to make good choices in the future. Don't use this as a rubber stamp to go out and go nuts. Because Jesus will forgive me. No, he talks about how we abuse that love. And that's not cool either. That ends up being what we call lukewarm Christians. And the Bible tells us, he says, you'd rather be hot or cold than be lukewarm, because those people, I spit out my mouth. In other words, not real good position. Okay? So remember, no matter how you mess up, one, he loves you, but more importantly, he still has a plan for you, that he's going to use you to accomplish for him what he wants. Thanks for listening. Share this, repost it, save it as a favorite, tell your friends, ask any questions, comments are always welcome. Love to hear from you. If you have questions or help you need with, let me know. Thanks for listening, guys. Bye-bye.